right now we're going to lead into Kellie's journey with these beautiful ancient oils. Kellie is just amazing. I call her our wisdom, our
Mm.
our soul sister on another level, because her wisdom, her grace is just amazing, and we're just so honored to have her gifts here with us on our early journey and our beautiful tribe. So let's leave with Kellie now in sharing her experience of how these ancient oils have unlocked gifts within her. You're muted, Kellie, darling.
Thank you. I'll try again. I just wanted to say thank you for that heartfelt connection that is part of being Deb's tribe. Like Serena is the first person who said yes 9 years ago, did you say? Serena?
9 years ago, yes.
I think that's a testimony to the power of the oils, because you still wouldn't be using them 9 years on if they didn't. And then Rebecca's story as Deb's actual sister. I call myself Deb's soul sister, but Rebecca is her actual sister. And for Carney, like, is it 6 or 7 weeks? And you feel as connected to Deb and the rest of us as we all do. I really value the connection and the tribe, and it's something that's been missing for a really long time. And it's, you know, time to, when women link arms, yeah. So, but we're talking about ancient oils. These ancient oils, if they were to go by another name, they would be biblical oils. They're all oils from the Bible. So, Christmas Day tomorrow. So the story of the 3 wise men coming with frankincense and myrrh and gold. Frankincense was the medicine of the day. And it wasn't just in that period of time. It's been across the ages. And it's been across the continents. It's not a one-hit wonder. It's a classic. And frankincense was actually, it was like, well, why are you even giving frankincense? It was the gift of surviving your childhood, because there was a lot of infectious diseases. And with frankincense and myrrh, and some people say gold was like, as in the gold, a gold bar or a gold nugget, but other people speculate that maybe that was turmeric. So it was the gift of being healthy in your childhood. And so for me, I have a daily date with Frank. He's my boy, and I have a chronic autoimmune condition. And I was stuck in bed 22 hours a day for about 3 years. And it was when DoTerra came into my life that I was able to start getting out of my sick bed. I haven't had miraculous life-changing 12 cysts go in 3 weeks. Mine has been painfully slow, but every day stronger, 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 and it's taken years. But each day I've been heading in the right direction, and it's been physically and emotionally and spiritually, but it's been slow. But I'm back to the point where I'm ready to return to work. So with the ancient oils, I have only ever used them topically. And it was Carney going, I diffused them. And she's like, you did what? And then I said to Deb, she diffused them. Have you ever diffused them? And she's like, no, I've never diffused them. And asking around, and the people who I know who have had ancient oils have never diffused them. And I'm like, I'm going to diffuse them. And it was like, I don't know why I didn't think to diffuse them. And this is the value of community, where we share each other's stories. Because in our sensory systems, the olfactory sense of smell is called olfactory. And it is the quickest, the shortest, the most potent, and it's straight to the limbic system. So in the central nervous system, everything goes through what, like King's Cross Station. All trains go through King's Cross Station. In our nervous system, all the nerve tracts go through a region of the body called the thalamus. There's only one exception, and that exception is the sense of smell. It doesn't have to be diverted. It goes straight to where it needs to be. It goes from here to here. And when you're here, you're at the limbic system, and that is the emotional center. So diffusing the ancient oils is ingenious. Somebody had to tell me to do it because I didn't think to do it for myself because they're so precious and they're so
Yeah, that's
rare.
what I do.
And the reason why they're so rare is because they're not always available. This is a limited time collection. I've been with doTerra for 10 years, and this is only the third time I've seen them available. The last time was in 2022, and the time before that, I think it was, I don't know, Deb, was it 3 or 4 years before that?
Yeah, had to be. It's nearly like every 3 years.
Yeah, so they're rare and they're precious,
Yeah.
and they're available for one more week to the 31st of December or when stocks sell out. And when they come back, we don't know. So since diffusing my ancient oils, courtesy of Carney, because it's not how long you've been in doTerra, actually. It's nothing to do with it. It's how you resonate with the oil. When you read the flyer from the class, it says, what is an essential oil? Essential oil is a volatile compound. It's like, great. What does that even mean? I was listening to Dr. Hill. He was talking about frankincense at the beginning of the month. And he said, essential oils are chemical messengers. And I was like, yes, I can understand what that means. And the chemical messengers is a form of frequency, and it's frequency medicine. And I can confidently say medicine because doTerra frankincense is registered with the Therapeutics Goods Association, the TGA, as medicine grade. So the stories that we're sharing here about the oils are pure and potent oils, not the $10 from the dollar store. That I wouldn't even say is unlikely to be an essential oil, and certainly not therapeutic grade. So as part of this, we might, Connie, can we share the link for the TGA for the frankincense just at the end? Like, so if people want to look up how it's medicine grade. So our stories are for doTerra, frankincense and ancient oils. Can't speak to other brands. But in the ancient collection, it does come with 5 ml frankincense. Because I have a daily date with frankincense, I generally use 2 bottles, and I actually go into a 3rd bottle of frankincense over a 12-month period. And I get my frankincense in December always because I get him free. Because doTerra has a promo of if you do a certain order size, you get a free 15 ml frankincense. And I make those order sizes. I make a wish list throughout the year, and I save up, and I purchase in December to get my free 15 ml bottle of frankincense, which Debs is just holding up there. And that is valued wholesale $118, retail $158. No one we know buys retail, though. We all buy wholesale. Wholesale is a saving of 25% because you get your own account. It's a bit like Costco. So wanting to let you know that the ancient oils are available for one more week to the 31st of December. If you wanted to, you can also get a free frankincense 15 ml. If the ancientness of the ancient oils calls to you, that these have been the medicine across the history of time, across so many cultures, Egyptian, Chinese, Indian, Arabic, European, the Middle Ages, the biblical ages. These are the real deals. These are plant medicines. These are the natural solutions. So how much is this one? 158 PV, Debs? Is that right? Or 180? You need an extra 32 PV.
Yeah, it's 168 PV.
168 PV. So you need an extra 32 PV.
How much are they? Do you remember how much they cost wholesale?
No, I'd have to look that up.
Oh, Carney knows.
I think it's 276, I think.
So
Or
276.
It's either 276 or 267. I think it's 276.
I think it's 267.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I knew I had all the numbers, just maybe not
You
the
were
right
close.
place.
You were very close. Yeah, 26. I never pay attention, you see. So 267, but it's 168 PV, which means you need that extra 32 PV to take it to the 200 to get the free frankincense.
Yeah.
So that's why adding your fractionated coconut oil, which is a must when you're using ancient oils to have the dilution. And I'm pretty sure this is about a 16 PV.
15, yeah.
15 PV.
So Rebecca's business is called Beck's Remedies. So you need the empty bottles and the fractionated coconut oil to make up your blends. And that what Connie was saying, to be able to start, yeah, there's your empty bottle, to be the alchemist. So we're part of Deb's team, and Deb's team is part of Team Alchemy. And so we get to be the alchemist. So if it's the ancientness and the biblical part that calls to you, you might want to top up your order to get the free Frankie with a spikenard. So spikenard was also in the Bible, in Solomon's Songs, and it was what Mary of Bethany. I'm not a Christian.
No, it was Mary, Lazarus' sister, who anointed Jesus with the spikenard before he died.
So at the Passover, a couple of days before the
Correct.
crucifixion. So this has the ability to connect to yourself. So I'll just tell you my short story of spikenard. My sister passed unexpectedly in 2020, and it was just such a shock. I was in Brisbane, went up to Townsville. I had 10 oils with me. Frankincense was one of them, of course, because I have my daily date. And it was just an emotional roller coaster because of the suddenness of it all. And it was like I was being flooded with emotion. I'm not an overly emotional person, but I was just bursting into tears. At one point, I was actively hysterical. And I just having this deluge of emotion. And I was just being flooded. And then when I got back to Brisbane, I put my hands over my collection. I was like, I need to, this storm, it was like a cyclone, and it wasn't passing, just the level of grief. And my hands settled on spikenard, and I took one drop and I put it on my crown. And there was a release, and I knew which way of the world was up, because I was just felt like I was in a tumble dryer. I was just being knocked around so badly. And it was spikenard that helped me find my feet again and centered me. And then after the fact, I went and looked up what is spikenard, and it's the oil of gratitude and of acceptance. And it was the one that helped me start to come to terms with her passing. So, and interesting, just because I like the chemistry side of thing, the chemistry of spikenard is really very amazing. The oils are made up of chemical constituents, and different oils have different profiles. So wintergreen, another love of mine, has 2 constituents. Its top constituent is methyl salicylate, and there's a little bit of something else, and that's it. Most oils have 3 or 4 constituents. Some oils have 7 to 9 constituents. Spikenard, 97 constituents. It is the most complex chemistry known that I'm aware of. Some of the chemical constituents in there haven't even been named. They don't even know what they do. The chemistry of this oil is gobsmacking. It is a biblical oil. It is also an ancient oil. It's not in the ancient collection, but it really, truly does belong in there.
Yeah.
Bit of a pricey oil, because when Mary bathed, it was her dowry or her, so it was her life savings in this little thing that she broke open to put on Jesus' foot. It's a rare precious oil. doTerra sources it from Nepal. So I think it's $80, which I think is quite reasonable when you compare that. Anyway, so that's one option for you to top it up to get your free Frankie. A different, more affordable, less rare, less precious oil is going to be cedarwood, also an ancient oil, also a biblical oil. Cedarwood is a sacred wood, and it's the oil of community. And for 3 years, cedarwood was my oil of choice. The first time I smelt cedarwood, I swooned. My knees buckled underneath me. I swooned. And I was having a nervous breakdown, and long story there, it's attached to the autoimmune and just how sick I was. And I'm not anymore. Cedarwood was my oil of choice for a good 3 years, and he's a lot more affordable. So I would say if you're dealing with anything physical, emotional oils have something to, ancient oils have something to, or if you're doing managing something heartfelt, emotional, if you're facing spirit and direction and life, and because the world is crazy at the moment, the ancient oils, they're very likely to have something to offer you. I've probably talked too much, so I'll stop now.
No, that's